What's up, everyone? Today, I'm attempting the impossible, crossing Canada from coast to coast with just $50. Can you really experience the best of this massive country on such a tiny budget? We're about to find out. I'll hit 5 cities, testing how far $50 can stretch for food, adventure, and culture. No tricks, no sponsors, just pure budget travel. Let's kick off this wild journey and see what Canada has in store. First stop, Toronto, Canada's largest city, a vibrant metropolis where cultures collide and flavors from around the world come together on every street corner. Today, I'm on a mission. Can I conquer Toronto's legendary street food scene with just $50 in my pocket? In a city known for its high cost of living, is it possible to eat like royalty without breaking the bank? Armed with a crisp $50 bill and a big appetite, I set out to explore the city's most iconic neighborhoods, searching for the tastiest, most affordable bites. From the bustling downtown core to the quirky side streets, Toronto's food scene is as diverse as its people. My plan? Sample as many different street eats as possible, savoring flavors from every corner of the globe, without going over budget. My adventure kicks off with a true Toronto classic, the legendary street hot dog. These carts are everywhere, and for just $5, I get a juicy sausage loaded with all the fixings: mustard, onions, relish, and a mountain of sauerkraut. It's simple, it's satisfying, and it's the perfect way to fuel up for a day of exploring. The first bite is pure nostalgia, reminding me why these hot dog stands are a staple for locals and tourists alike. Next stop, the colorful, eclectic Kensington Market. This neighborhood is a melting pot of cultures, and the food reflects that. I grab a spicy Jamaican patty for just $3, flaky pastry, packed with seasoned beef and a kick of heat. The aroma alone draws a crowd, and the flavor is out of this world. Kensington Market is a must-visit for any food lover, and the patty is a steal. With my taste buds tingling, I wander over to a street vendor frying up fresh churros. For $6, I get a bag of warm, golden churros dusted in cinnamon sugar. Each bite is crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and perfectly sweet. Walking through the market with churros in hand feels like a mini celebration. Toronto's street food is already exceeding my expectations. By lunchtime, I've spent just $14 and I'm already feeling stuffed. But there's so much more to try. Toronto's street food isn't just about quantity, it's about quality, variety, and the stories behind every dish. Each vendor has their own twist, their own secret recipe, and their own passion for sharing food with the city. For an afternoon pick-me-up, I head to Chinatown for a classic bubble tea. $5 gets me a tall, ice-cold cup filled with chewy tapioca pearls and sweet, creamy tea. Watching the drink being made is half the fun. The shaking, the sealing, the anticipation. It's the perfect refresher as I continue my culinary journey. As the sun starts to set, I'm craving something savory. I find a street stall selling giant samosas, 2 for just $4. The crispy pastry gives way to a spicy, flavorful potato filling, and the accompanying chutney adds a tangy kick. It's comfort food at its finest, and I can't believe how affordable it is. With a little room left for dessert, I decide to treat myself. I splurge on a gourmet ice cream cone for $8. Handmade, creamy, and piled high with unique flavors like maple bacon and lavender honey. It's a sweet ending to a day of savory delights, and totally worth every penny. As I tally up my spending, I realize I've got a few bucks left. What better way to finish than with another classic Toronto hot dog for the road? It's the ultimate street food encore, and a reminder that sometimes, the simplest foods are the most satisfying. In total, I've sampled 8 different street eats: hot dogs, Jamaican patties, churros, bubble tea, samosas, and gourmet ice cream, all for just $50. Each bite tells a story, each vendor shares a piece of their culture, and every dollar stretches further than I ever expected in this city. My verdict? Toronto's street food scene is a budget traveler's dream come true. The variety, the flavors, and the friendly faces make every meal memorable. Whether you're a foodie or just hungry, this city proves you don't need a fortune to eat well. With a full belly and a happy heart, I'm ready for my next adventure. Montreal, get ready, because the street food challenge is just getting started. Montreal's got a European vibe, and today's challenge is all about culture. First, the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts. Main galleries are free. I splurge on a special Egyptian mummies exhibit for $24. Next, Pointe-à-Calière Museum. Admission is $22. I walk through underground ruins and the city's history. With $4 left, I hunt for a souvenir and score a beautiful postcard for two. Two world-class museums, a special exhibit, and a keepsake, all for under 50 bucks. Montreal proves you don't need a fortune for a day packed with art and history. Inspired and on budget, I'm heading west. Vancouver's up next. Vancouver is a city that's famous for its breathtaking natural beauty, where snow-capped mountains meet the sparkling Pacific Ocean, and lush forests hug the urban skyline. But exploring all this magic doesn't have to break the bank. Today, I'm setting out to see the best of Vancouver, without spending a fortune. My goal? To experience the city's most scenic ride, soak in the views, and enjoy some local flavors, all for under $50. Whether you're a traveler on a shoestring or a local looking for a new adventure, this is the perfect way to see Vancouver's highlights and hidden gems, all in a single day. I start my journey by hopping on the West Coast Express, Vancouver's legendary commuter train that hugs the coastline. For just $12.75, I get a front row seat to some of the most jaw-dropping scenery in the city. As the train glides past glimmering waters and dense forests, I watch the city fade into the distance and the wild beauty of British Columbia unfold outside my window. The ride is peaceful, the seats are comfy, and the views, honestly, they're worth the ticket price alone. It's the kind of experience that makes you fall in love with travel all over again. The train drops me off in Mission City, a charming little town nestled at the foot of the mountains. Here, the air feels fresher, the pace is slower, and the scenery is straight out of a postcard. I take a stroll through quiet streets lined with local shops and friendly faces, then pause to breathe in the crisp mountain air. It's a world away from the city bustle, and the perfect spot to stretch my legs and soak up the peaceful vibe. If you have time, grab a coffee from a local cafe or wander down to the river for even more stunning views. For the return trip, I switch things up and hop on a local bus that winds its way through the Fraser Valley. The ride is just as scenic as the train, with rolling farmland, distant peaks, and endless green fields stretching out on either side. It's a chance to see a different side of British Columbia, one that's quieter, more rural, and just as beautiful. And the best part? The total cost for all my transit today is under 20 bucks, leaving plenty of room in my budget for a little treat. Back in Vancouver, I make my way to Granville Island, a foodie paradise right on the water. With the money I've saved, I pick up some local smoked salmon, a wedge of creamy cheese, and a fresh baguette from the market. I find a sunny spot by the marina, unpack my picnic, and dig in while watching boats drift by. The flavors are incredible, fresh, local, and totally satisfying. It's the perfect way to refuel after a day of exploring, and a reminder that you don't need a fancy restaurant to enjoy the best of Vancouver's food scene. When I add it all up, train, bus, and my Granville Island feast, the total comes to just $43. That's a full day of adventure, incredible scenery, and delicious food, all for less than the cost of a single fancy dinner in the city. It's proof that you can have an unforgettable experience in Vancouver without spending a fortune. From panoramic mountain views to bustling markets and peaceful small towns, this day has it all. I've tasted local flavors, met friendly people, and seen some of the most beautiful landscapes in Canada, all on a budget. You don't need expensive tours or luxury hotels to make the most of Vancouver. Sometimes, the best adventures are the ones you create yourself, with a little curiosity and a sense of adventure. Vancouver truly is an adventurer's paradise, especially if you know where to look and how to stretch your dollars. Whether you're here for a day or a week, there's always something new to discover, and always a way to do it on a budget. And if you're ready for the next adventure, I'm heading east to Banff's legendary lakes, where turquoise waters and towering peaks await. Let's see if I can get out on the water in Banff for 50 bucks or less. Stay tuned for the next chapter of this budget-friendly Canadian adventure. Banff National Park, jaw-dropping mountains, turquoise lakes, and sky-high prices. My goal, kayak on the Bow River for under $50. I negotiate a 1-hour kayak rental for 40 bucks. Score. paddling solo, I'm surrounded by epic scenery and wildlife. It's peaceful, unforgettable, and worth every cent. Afterward, I grab a coffee and a beaver tail pastry in town for my last $10. Total spent $50, and I had the adventure of a lifetime. Banff proves you can have epic outdoor experiences on a shoestring. One last city to go, Halifax, here I come. Let's see what the East Coast has to offer. Here we are, my final stop on this cross-country adventure. Halifax, Nova Scotia. After days of exploring Canada from coast to coast, I've landed on the vibrant Atlantic shores, ready to see just how far $50 can take me in this historic port city. My first destination? The legendary Halifax Seaport Farmers Market. This place is a local institution, buzzing with energy, color, and the irresistible aroma of fresh-baked goods and salty sea air. With my $50 bill in hand, I'm determined to sample the best of what Halifax has to offer. One bite, sip, and souvenir at a time. I kick things off with breakfast, a warm, pillowy blueberry crepe made right before my eyes by a friendly vendor. For just $8, I get a taste of Nova Scotia's famous wild blueberries, folded into a golden crepe and dusted with powdered sugar. It's sweet, tangy, and the perfect fuel for a day of market exploring. Next, I wander over to a stall overflowing with fresh, local produce. I can't resist picking up a basket of juicy strawberries and a couple of crisp apples. $9 well spent on fruit that was probably picked just hours ago. The vendors here are passionate about their harvest, and you can taste the difference in every bite. My next find is a wedge of smoked cheddar cheese for $12. The vendor slices off a sample, and the rich, smoky flavor is irresistible. It's made by a local dairy, and I know it'll pair perfectly with the fresh bread I'm eyeing next. For $6, I snag a crusty loaf of artisan sourdough, still warm from the oven. The baker tells me it's made with a wild yeast starter that's been in the family for generations. I can't wait to tear into it by the waterfront. To top it all off, I grab a jar of wild blueberry jam for $7. The deep purple color and sweet aroma are irresistible, and I know it'll be the perfect spread for my bread and cheese picnic. With a few bucks left in my pocket, I browse the local art stalls and find a hand-painted Halifax postcard for $5. It's a beautiful watercolor scene of the harbor, an affordable, one-of-a-kind souvenir to remember this trip by. My last $3 go to a big, steaming cup of locally roasted coffee. The barista chats with me about Halifax's coffee culture as she pours, and I savor every sip as I stroll back toward the waterfront. With my market haul in hand, I find a sunny bench overlooking the harbor and lay out my feast. Fresh fruit, artisan bread, smoked cheddar, and wild blueberry jam. The salty breeze, the sound of seagulls, and the view of ships drifting by make this simple picnic feel like a five-star meal. The Halifax Seaport Farmers Market is more than just a place to shop. It's a celebration of local flavors, creativity, and community. Every corner offers something new to discover, and every dollar stretches surprisingly far. It's a feast for the senses, and for the budget traveler. As I relax by the water, market bags at my side, I can't help but feel grateful. This is the perfect finale to my cross-Canada challenge. Good food, friendly faces, and a city that knows how to make every moment count. 5 cities, 5 unique adventures, and $50 spent in each, proving you don't need a fortune to experience the best of Canada. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep exploring. We did it! 5 cities, 5 epic experiences, all on a $50 budget. From street eats to kayaking, museums to markets, this journey proved adventure doesn't have to be expensive. If you love this challenge, hit subscribe and join the adventure. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. See you in the next video.